Hi, everyone. It's Emily and Jamie.
We're back.
We're back.
We're just, gonna round out your August. We figured we'd launch into August with it's not too late to talk about how to have a successful vacation with kids.
There's still a lot of summer left.
No, I know.
Oh, and I'm heading into another vacation soon myself, so I can use some tips.
You and I vacation differently.
Right. So we thought it'd be fun to talk to you guys about that because we travel differently and we vacation differently, but both work and they're different scenarios. And I actually feel that this summer was the first time that we each had a family vacation for a week that was pretty fucking successful.
And this is not the first summer. I've had successful vacations prior to this summer.
Okay.
So if you're looking for a way that works, you might just want to skip to my part of this episode.
This was my best vacation in a long time this past summer for me.
I had 2 great vacations last summer.
Okay, so
and one of them
we'll have to do another.
I traveled without my husband.
What the issue is here for me, but maybe it's just because I've been fucking pregnant and miserable for so long.
I can name the issue. It's that you still travel with your family.
I'm about to tell people the benefits of why I travel with my family.
Yeah, no, I know.
Oh my God. Anyway,
why don't you start? We'll keep people hooked.
We both just went on vacation in July and we both had a great time, I would say. I roll those dice and I travel with family.
Yep.
And I went to North Carolina.
I used to roll that dice and I stopped rolling that dice precisely 7 years ago. Precisely. Maybe even to the day.
I like my family most days. They're probably listening to this because they listen to all of our episodes. So they're used to my honesty. We went to North Carolina. We go to North Carolina every year because my parents have a house there on the beach with a pool. And it's like a magical land for children once you arrive there. It's a giant pain to get to because you have to fly. And then when you land, we rent a car and you have to then drive. So you're looking at like a trip to the airport, an almost 2-hour flight, and then you land and get in a car and have like a 2-hour.
Like you're already naming things that I would never do with my kids.
I know, but we got to talk about it because
no, I know. This is the difference of parenting styles and opinions at its finest.
But I tee everyone up for the flight a certain way. On the flight down, the difference was my mom actually flew with my husband and I, which was so helpful to have 3 adults to 3 kids. And we flew into a newer airport that was a little bit closer. So the drive was a little bit shorter. And instead of renting a car, we hired someone to pick us up, which was kind of nice too.
Sounds like a real bougie vacation.
I'm really making it sound fancy.
Parents' house in North Carolina with a pool on the beach and it's magical. And my mom flew with me and we hired a driver.
It does sound nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking free when I get there. My mom's house. We don't go out to dinner. You get groceries, you cook. There's nowhere to go. Like there's not much to do. But anyway, now I'm like, really, you're throwing me off and I'm losing complete point of sharing this vacation. My vacation was so successful because my mommy flew with me. And she gave me her.
And we stayed in her house.
I have to say this part because she's going to listen and be like, you didn't tell them. My mom got upgraded to first class.
I mean, you are just adding on to the bougie shit.
I'll tell
what you're about to say.
It was a nightmare. My mom got upgraded to first class and she gave me and Eloise her seat. So I sat in the front of the plane with just Eloise and my mom and AJ were in the back with Grace and Maddie. And they were so difficult on the flight because their ears were popping. And it was just like, so I actually had a great trip down. Trip back was just me and my husband and it was not bougie by any means.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was a long journey home.
Yep.
All right. Well, why was my trip so successful? Because I actually asked my parents in advance to take my kids for certain things. So that I could do things, meaning like I set up 2 date nights with my husband. I set up 2 activities of Grace and Maddie that I didn't want Eloise to come to.
There's nowhere to go. What were your date nights?
The local bar.
Oh, okay.
The local dive bar.
Gotcha.
Right. Or like the local lobster shack.
Okay. I was
Thank
just
God.
asking. You
Yeah.
said there was nowhere to go when you got there.
Well, there are some special activities such as
Go-karts.
go-karts.
Yeah.
A really child-friendly, hot, crowded water park. Bumper cars in the water,
yeah.
like a dirty water pool bumper cars. We
Yep.
did that.
Yep.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Or just like things I want to do stuff with Grace and Maddie, but I don't want to bring the baby because then the big kids can have attention. Time to just actually go walk on the beach with just the baby or just my husband. Like actually laid out various scenarios and asked for them in advance.
Yeah.
So then we could do them.
Right. So you have built-in childcare with family.
Built-in childcare. But honestly, like the reason that it worked is because I was very upfront about what I wanted them to do and like specifically asked and laid it out.
I feel like you're not like telling me the whole story because you don't want me to make fun of you
What's
or give you a hard time.
story?
No, I just mean about like why it was successful. Just because you laid out exactly what you needed.
I think I don't ever ask my parents truly to help me. And then the day comes around, and if they don't help me, then I'm resentful. Or like if I don't ask AJ to do something with one kid specifically, then I'm annoyed. So instead, I was like, I want to go on a date with AJ. What night can you put the kids to bed?
Yeah.
Or I actually want to make it a priority to work out this week. Not every day. That would be like way too much.
Max.
But like, I was like, I'd like to go up to the beach once. Like, could I do that tomorrow or the next day? Like I floated some options.
Yeah.
And my parents were delighted to do it.
Right.
That was the thing.
When I traveled with my family 7 years ago and haven't since. My mistake was I expected people to help me when they were traveling with us or when we were the ones who rented the house and they were coming for free.
Yeah.
Things like that. And nobody actually helped. And then I was like, well, this is fucking stupid. I can actually
like
just
baking cookies for everyone. Jamie makes homemade cookies every night on vacation. Just
that is
serving
just
people.
like you just made that up.
I don't. I think you make Toll House chocolate chip cookies a lot of nights when you're on vacation, because the one time I went on vacation with you, you did that.
Yeah. I think I've legitimately done that one time.
I went to Nantucket once when Grace was 6 weeks old.
Yes.
And I have vivid memory of Jamie in the kitchen making Toll House cookies. And then you just came and took Grace and you were like, go up to bed.
I mean, you were a disaster.
And I was like, I'm not tired. I'm fine. And you were like, just give me the baby. And you served like warm cookies to everyone and took the baby and you were like, just go to bed.
So to be clear,
now I decided you make cookies.
That exact summer was 7 years ago.
Oh my God, you've never traveled with me since.
I haven't traveled with my family since. I haven't really traveled with friends since. I just do my own thing and hire help when I get there.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So my scenario is slightly different. I mean, for starters, I don't fly with my children. Like you guys are like, what do you mean you don't fly? Like I actually don't fly with them. Like the only time I've ever flown with a child was when Kate, my oldest, was 3 months old, and that was it. My other kids haven't been on a plane yet.
That shit is hard. I was changing Eloise's diaper in that small little bathroom.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of space.
I mean, my husband and I are in the camp that if can get away, and it is like we're gonna fly somewhere, we're gonna do that by ourselves, and we'll have somebody stay with our kids. Mm-hmm. You guys are in the camp of like traveling with family, like that's just a difference of style and travel, like, but that's what we do. We're getting to the place now where I think we will start traveling with our kids and flying with them.
I thought you were going to say where we might invite family. I was like, what? Didn't expect that to come out.
Nope. I will not.
Going to fly to?
I mean, we're going to have to do a Disney trip at some point, I feel like. But yeah, like it's definitely like, don't get me wrong. My kids are very challenging right now because of their ages. Like in terms of there's a lot of fighting and yelling and whining and crying. Mm-hmm. So very different than having like a baby at home. But like I can see that we're getting to a place that it would be a lot easier to travel with them. I mean, and I even think that's evident of the last 2 summers that we've had and the vacations that we've taken, and that it has honestly like gone really smoothly. Right. Like to the point where I go into them waiting for the fucking to happen. And it doesn't. They've been great. So my whole, and this is like, we're sort of comparing these two things, and I was making fun of Emily for her bougie vacation. Like, let's be honest,
It's
like
not
we
bougie.
had,
I
like,
actually just need to start all over.
we had a nice vacation
The
too.
very small town that I go to in North Carolina. It's not bougie.
No, I know, I'm kidding. I'm just making fun of you. And you elicit family help, which is also free help,
I
right?
should add in my brother and my cousin were there. I put them to work too.
No, I know.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
lifeguards on duty in the pool. I'm
Yeah.
like lifeguard,
Right.
little water guard.
I use the philosophy of hired help.
Yep.
For me, it's worked out better than having family watch my kids. I don't worry about my kids as much. I like when you are paying somebody to watch your kids, you can tell them exactly what you want and what you need them to do, and they'll listen because you're paying them, right?
Totally.
But obviously there's pros and cons to, you know, having family who's free helping you and hired help, right? But when I travel, I arrange babysitters, and I actually like, it's funny. I feel like every time we go away, I add on another day for help. My kids are also at the age where they fucking love babysitters.
I know.
Like you,
Grace just
a
wants
young
babysitter to come
a young
over.
girl shows up, they think
Yeah.
it's the best fucking thing on
Play
the planet.
Barbies with them.
Right.
I don't want to play Barbies.
Right.
So if we can get a nice little high school, middle school kid in to play some Barbies, like that's great.
So this is also the like for those of you who are in the stage of like, maybe you have the fucking 9-month-old or 14, you know, to 14-ish plus months where like they don't like being around other people. Like those days do not last forever.
No.
They will love having older kids around. So that is a huge plus for babysitters. But yeah, wherever we go. So like, you know, we stay in New England clearly because I don't fucking fly with my kids. But like, you know, last year we went to the Cape. This year we went to Nantucket. But I will look into the areas around here. I know agencies that have that you can hire babysitters through. So I'll go through an agency, or and this holds true no matter where you go, right? So no matter where you travel, you can look into whether or not there's an agency that has babysitters. Or like the person who you're renting the house from. Yeah. If you're doing like an Airbnb, you can ask the host if they know of anybody, or maybe they have kids and they have somebody that they use. Right. So like, actually that's what I did this time. The family who we rented the house from, my husband and I knew, and I asked the wife if they had a babysitter, and there was actually somebody in the neighborhood that we were staying in. So nice. And then and then she left like halfway through the week, and I had somebody else come like for another another day through an agency. But yeah, so I had
people what you did when the babysitter came.
So I am going to. So I had a babysitter come 3 times, 2 of the nights. The first time they came was the second night that we were there. And my cousin actually happened to be where we were. So we went out my husband and I went out to dinner with him and his fiance. But had he not been there, that would have been like our night, mine and my husband's night, to go to dinner. Then the second time I had somebody come, I had them come for the day, like an afternoon. So she came from like 12:30 to 6:30. Ideally, I actually probably would have done like 1 to 7 or 2 to 8. So that she would have covered bedtime, but she had to leave early that day. And we went to the beach, then we went to a brewery. Yep. So we had like a day date, which was super fucking fun. We literally came home, put the kids to bed, and then just like sat out by the fire pit. We had friends come the middle of the week too. So our friends were there when we did that. And then our friends last night, our second to last night, I had another babysitter come and the 4 of us went out to dinner. But yeah, like I am fully in the camp of like everybody says like a vacation with kids isn't a vacation. And I just like call bullshit on that.
Oh, see, I call it a relocation.
Like, I just think that you can set yourself up for success, whether it is asking family for help, whether it is hiring somebody to come and babysit your kids. I've been doing this for a while. So even when my kids were really little, I would have the babysitter come. My kids would meet them just so they knew who was there. Right. But then I would actually put the kids to bed, and then my husband and I would go out to dinner.
That way if they wake up or something too,
right.
They already met them.
But like, yeah. So if your kids are little, the babysitter can still be there and meet them, but you can still put them to bed and then go. If you're like, if there is this stranger danger, or you're like, you know, not sure about the person coming or something like that. But yeah, like I've been doing this I've been hiring a babysitter when we've been away for a long time now. Yeah. And it works for us, and it's fucking fun. And my husband and I have so much fun when we do it.
Yep.
And I never regret it. Like in terms of leaving my kids with somebody, even if it's just they're in bed and I'm just leaving them with somebody who's watching TV, like it's a lot of fun. So that's what I did. So if you're looking for ways to like find somebody where you're going, if you wanted to go my route and hire help, I would ask like your Airbnb host.
Yep.
I would, or if you're staying in a hotel, ask the hotel, or if you're staying in an Airbnb, you can reach out to local hotels.
Sometimes they have a list of babysitters.
Right. So definitely like ask, you can obviously like ask your own friend network if they know anybody in the area that you're traveling to, or if there's any like Facebook communities that you can join, but parenting Facebook communities that you can join, and ask if you can get a direct referral. I think that's always obviously like great because it's usually from somebody who's used them. Or look into the local, like if there's any nanny or babysitting agencies in the area that you can hire a babysitter through. They usually like vet people through their agencies too, which is nice.
Yeah.
So that's what I would recommend, but those are the two different ways.
I mean, I'm definitely not opposed to paid babysitters or help. I just seem to happen to always be with my family.
You guys only vacation with
like,
family.
We're always together. Everybody's always around. And then when we go, more people tack on.
You never travel without your family. You realize that, right?
Yeah, no, I don't know like, if I've ever had a vacation.
You've never even traveled with just your family of 5. There's always, when
I
have
don't
you?
think so. I try to, and then people just seem to come. They seem to invite themselves or tack on.
Maybe. Just there's other ways to do it. That's all I'm suggesting.
Totally.
All right, well, that's all we got. Hopefully we gave you some.
It's really helpful.
I think it is helpful. What do you mean?
I don't know. I don't think I sold my version very well.
That's because mine's better, but we'll let the people decide. Let us know what you think.
You should fly with your kids, go on long car rides, travel with your crazy family. Just reset your expectations.
I mean, it's all free, right?
When you get there, feed people, don't let them get overtired.
That's not helpful.
And ask for help. It's very helpful.
The key is ask for help, whether free or paid for.
Okay.
Okay. That's all for now. Bye.